little bit of a controversy going on, and I actually looked into it myself this morning. Depending on who you believe, either the Hoboken School District spent about $250,000 of federal stimulus dollars on computers that are being thrown out. The program basically was a failure, or some of the other people we talked to say it was a success and the computers are being used in other areas. As I said, I went to Hoboken this morning to try to dig into it. I spoke to Maureen Sullivan, who was on the board at the time. She said this program to give computers to 7th and 8th graders was a failure.
Even before this year, it was clear that the program just was no good. And I think that just gives families a sense that the government just is going to just forget about you, and they'll promise you something, they'll take it away with one hand.
So all of this kind of came to us when we discovered an article that was written by Barshay from the Hechinger Report. Tell us what you discovered about the computers.
Well, when I was there, it seemed that all the computers had already died or were on their last legs. These are already old computers. They're at least, I think, 2 years old might be the youngest computers there now. And some were dead in the storage room. That was pictured in my article. And I think the computers are sort of run their course, and they have to go through the recycling or throwing away process now.
Now, you actually spoke to the outgoing superintendent, and in speaking to you, he pretty much acknowledged that this program didn't have the resources to sustain itself.
When I interviewed Mark Toback, the outgoing superintendent, he personally told me he made the call to pull the plug on the laptop program and not fund it anymore.
Can you talk a little bit more about the reasonings going into why they spent this stimulus money on these computers, and what could they have done differently?
They spent the stimulus money on the computers with very good intentions. This is a very low-income high school and junior high community, and they wanted to give kids who otherwise wouldn't have had computer access, they wanted to give them computers. And what they didn't do was plan how they were going to use them.
You need leaders who know how to manage a school, not just throwing state money, federal money at a school. That doesn't solve anything, and that's why we're still where we are, with many schools still failing.
I'm resistant to say the problem was throwing money at it. I mean, good solutions also need resources.
Do you plan to follow up on this?
I will consider it. I'm very interested in the lessons that people are learning from introducing technology in schools. I think we're going to see more and more of it around the country. And there's going to be both successes and mistakes, and I think it's important to learn from both.